Hey friends, this video is going to be different than my usual content. There's somebody that I'm trying to reach that I know watches my content, and I want them to specifically see this. And so if you're not into drama or tea, then please exit this video. I've got more budgeting stuff that will be coming, but I need to make this video for myself. And yeah. So, per Alexa, there are 2 million people with the name Amanda, and this goes out to the one person out of 2 million. And this is not for bullying purposes, this is just to talk from the heart and for entertainment purposes. So, I was what I would consider really close, almost best friends with this person since 2017. And we had met up multiple times, and I actually went to visit them last month, and you got to see me cash stuff for that. And so they decided today to end our friendship without a single word. And you know what? They always told me that they would keep it real with me. They would be blunt. They would be honest. They would say it to my face because they're not the type that would just be silent. And you know what? Mari says the lie detector said that that's a lie. She's a fake. She is not who she said she is. Like, she couldn't even have the guts, the courage, the bravery to tell me to my face why she didn't want to be my friend anymore. And so, let's get into story tea time, right? Might as well make it interesting. So, since this person wants to be a hypocrite and act exactly the opposite of how they said that they feel and believe, we're just going to get to it. This person, Amanda, out of 2 million Amandas in the world, decided that because they were plus size, I'm plus size too, that was one thing we had in common, there was like 10-pound difference between us, that they wanted to get weight loss surgery. Now, regardless, I don't think that they were a weight that an actual doctor would have signed off on weight loss surgery. This person was overweight, but they weren't like that overweight. Like, diet and exercise really would have helped. Like, I don't even think they would have that much loose skin, just to be real with you. So they decided to get weight loss surgery in another country because a doctor probably, I don't think, would write off on that. So they went through this journey, and I never judged this person. I just was like, you know what? Like, I'm gonna support you. Like, just get healthy, right? I believe in, as long as medically you can go to the gym and medically you can work through it and you can make eating changes. Like, I don't really believe in the surgery. I think that should be dedicated for the people that truly need it. And, but I never judged her. I supported her. I'm like, you know what? It'll get you to your end goal faster. Let's just get you there. So she got the weight loss surgery. And she really started losing the weight in August. And that's when I kind of noticed a shift in her attitude and her behavior. And I was like, maybe she's just off. Because she told me she started antidepressants. And I was like, it could just be the antidepressants. And we had this trip planned, like, way before the weight loss surgery. So, like, I had been saving for this for how long? You guys know how long I saved for that trip. And so, like, we talked about it a lot. We talked about all the things we wanted to do. Like, so much. She wanted me to meet her family. Well, needless to say, none of that came to fruition. And I got to where she lives, and the vibe was off. It was almost like as if she was being tortured and forced to have to be there with me. At least that's how I felt. The very first day, like, we were supposed to go do stuff. It was like she forced herself to go out to eat, which was the only time we went out to eat, other than when we went to that McDonald's, which I don't consider that going out to eat. I paid for her meal. And then I thought she was going to show me her town, her city where she lives, downtown. No, no, we didn't dare do that. She was tired and exhausted and just wanted to go home. Fine, great, whatever. So then day 2, I'm like, maybe it's just in my head, right? Maybe it's just in my head. Well, day 2 was just as bad. She took me to 2 places that I really wanted to go. And it was almost like it felt like she was just a tour guide. It didn't feel like she was my friend. It was like a tour guide that didn't want to be at work that day. And she took me to both places. And then we finally get to Walmart. And she sees a coworker on one of the aisles, and she turns around and says, we need to go this way because she doesn't want to run into coworker. And I'm like, oh my god, like, are you serious? Like, do you not like them, or do you have bad blood? And she's like, no, I love them, they're great. She's like, but you know how it is, you just don't want to run into coworkers when you're off work. And I'm like, nah, not really. Like, I'd say hi, like, if I like them. And that was the moment I figured it out. That was the moment I started piecing in the puzzle pieces of this very confusing puzzle. Went home, she cooked dinner, and then she kept making hints right around 7 o'clock. Oh, you must be jet lagged. You're used to 2 hours ahead. You should probably go to bed. Don't feel like you have to stay up to, entertain us. Stuff like, like that. And I was like, I got the hint. I gotcha. And then the one day I did not, I think it was the first day, I didn't go to bed soon enough. And her husband started, like, bickering back and forth about things. Well, anyway, I tried to be a courteous guest, not eat too much, to be very clean, to just be very tidy, respectful. And I did give her $300. And she never said anything. She just said, are you sure? And I said, yeah. I'm like, you spent your gas. I'm using your utilities to shower, electricity. I'm using your gas to get to these places. Like, I'm like, take it. And she's like, okay. So she would have been offended by that. Like, she could have communicated. So I kind of think that that's not the reason why she's upset. But anyway, let's move on. So then the third day that I was there, we went to the Aliens. And this day was supposed to be all day. But then she told me we were gonna leave early, and she was gonna have a cookout and I could meet her family. So we go to Roswell, and it's like rushed, very rushed. Like, she just didn't want to be there. And I asked for a selfie together. She did not want that. I got her to get one selfie, and it was like I was pulling teeth. Like, it was bad. And in the picture, she would not stand close to me, and it was like she had a GUN to her head to have to get this picture. Like, I wish I could show you the picture, but I'm gonna respect her privacy, and I'm not gonna show it. But the picture said 1,000 words. Like, the picture said what the unsaid was. Like, she looked like she would rather just be, DEAD. So I couldn't even post that picture if I wanted to, which I'm half tempted to make it my profile picture on Facebook just to get at her a little. Anyway, you could tell she didn't want to be there. She just wanted to leave. And she's like, let's go. And then I said, hey, I want to see Billy the Kid. I didn't realize how close you were to it. I'm like, can we please go? And she's like, it's really out of the way. I don't think we're going back that way. And I'm like, GPS says we're going back that way. Because, I'm on GPS. And she, felt like she had to. Again, she was kind of annoyed about that. She didn't say it, but, it was felt. It was heavily felt. So she drives through there. We don't really stop. She acts like we're on a time crunch. And then on our way back, I'd been asking, hey, can we go to these 2 places that I really wanted to see in her city? And she kept telling me, no, it's too far. It's on the other side of town. And I'm at her house, GPS 10 minutes away. That's not that far. That was a little ridiculous. And she's like, I guess. You could tell she really didn't want to stop. And so I'm I see it, and I'm like, can we please stop? So she eeks, and pulls in, and you could tell she didn't want to be there. She didn't even go into the store with me. So then she's like, let's go to Walmart and pick out what we want for dinner. And I'm like, are we not doing a cookout? And she's like, I don't think so. And she's like, I'm really tired and just not feeling it. And I'm like, well, I can buy everyone a pizza. And she's like, no. And she's like, we'll just get like something at Walmart to pop in the, oven, and that'll be our dinner. And I'm like, you know what? You have a ton of leftovers. I'll just eat leftovers. And I'm thinking, like, we could go out to eat. But she don't want to go out to eat. Like, I gave her $300. Like, she could have went out to eat, but she clearly didn't want to. So then I really started thinking about it, and I'm like, she didn't want her coworker to meet me. She didn't want to take me downtown because she could run into people that she knows. She's embarrassed to be seen with me. It all started to click into place. So it was my last night. We didn't do anything like usual. Her family never came, and I don't even think she invited them. And if she did, she canceled it. And she just acted like they just didn't show. Was how she acted. Nothing was said about it, and I didn't bring it up. The whole vibe was off. I didn't want to say anything because I wanted her to take me back to to the airport. Like, I didn't want to be stranded an hour and a half away from the airport. So, like, I did bite my tongue for that reason. So the day comes where I'm supposed to leave, and I said I wanted to get there 2 hours early just because I'm not used to airplanes and, like, the airport. Well, she decides we're going to leave at 8, even though we really didn't need to leave until like 9. So we get there 3 hours. I think it was 3.5 hours early. And you would think she would be like, hey, let me show you El Paso. No. I pulled up to the airport, and it was kind of like, let's get out, let's go. She gives me a sideways hug and says, let me know when you land. Didn't even offer to park and come in and sit with me like I would have done if it was my friend. Whatever. She went off and did her own thing, and, I went on my airplane. Well, when I got off the airplane, I started having internet issues where my Wi-Fi and data wasn't loading anything. And I had sent her a message, and I saw she did an emoji to it, and then she just never responded. And I'm like, usually she responds, like, especially to that. And I'm like, am I not seeing it because I'm not, like, getting, like, my data's not coming through, like, my Wi-Fi's not working, and, like, nothing was working. TikTok wouldn't load, Facebook wouldn't load, my dog sitting apps wouldn't load, Messenger wouldn't load. Like, I had screenshots to prove it. And she's like, nah, it's not your internet. She's like, you just are mad because I'm not talking to you as much. And she's like, I'll keep it real with you. And I'm like, girl, I am keeping it real with you. That's not at all my issue. And it wasn't my issue. Like, I don't expect anybody to talk to me every single day. Like, we all have lives. We're all busy. But I expect communication, right? I just thought my phone wasn't loading stuff. And I just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing something. And so she felt called out, and she threw it back on me, and I was sending her screenshots. She's like, I don't need to see those. And then one time she's like, what's this? I'm like, you know what? Never mind. I don't have to prove that my internet's not working to you. Like, I don't have to prove that. So things started going downhill after she made that comment, because I'm like, okay, I'm just going to stop messaging you. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, I don't know what you comment at me for. Like, I'm not crazy like that. So then, on this past Sunday, she started talking to me like everything was normal. Like, everything was back to normal and good. And I was like, okay, well, maybe this was just a weird phase. Maybe I'm wrong. Because this whole time I'm like, she's going to end up blocking me. She's just going to remove me. Like, I knew this back on day 2 of the trip. Like, I knew it was coming. Like, I saw it coming. So then on Monday, she removed herself from a group that my best friend and I were in for weight loss support. And that's when I really knew. And I told my best friend, I'm like, she can't block me on Tuesday. And she did. She blocked me on Tuesday. And didn't say a word. So, that's where we're at. Now, I am going to say this, that it hurt a little bit. A lot of it is human nature, curiosity. Like, why would you do that? Like, you act like we're fine and we're good, and then you just block me for no reason. I know in my heart. Like, I can sit here and I'm fine. See, that's the thing. She, I think, wanted me to be heartbroken and devastated and sad. I think she wanted to ruin my day, but she didn't. because I saw it coming. You know why? Because I didn't fail school like she did. I got my degree. I learned how to read people. I learned to see the warning signs. I knew this was coming. I saw it coming. That's why I'm not sad. That's why I'm not hurt. I had a couple of weeks to grieve the loss of this friendship. I had the time to prepare. I was a step ahead of her the whole time. So, she didn't say anything. She first blocked my best friend, then my husband, and then she blocked me just on Facebook. And then like 6 hours later, she blocked me on Messenger. She's still thinking of me, and I know she's gonna be watching this channel, because she's asked for budgeting help before because she's really struggled financially. Girl, please find some budgeters that can help you. Like, I really want to see you do well, especially because, like, I know you're struggling with it. So, anyway, she didn't have the bravery or the courage or the guts to tell me why, and I think I know why. So, let's get into the psychology of it, right? So, she lost all that weight, and she's skinny now, and she sees herself in a different way, but she's still holding on to that old part of her that she hated, that she didn't love, that she had a lot of, I'm trying to think of the right word, discomfort with. No, that's not the right word. The word, it's like at the tip of my tongue. Anyway, she was not comfortable with her old self. And so she had a poor self-image. Yeah, that's the word, self-image. She had a very low, poor self-image of her. And so when I got off that plane and she saw me, and she saw me and my weight, and that I'm within 10 pounds of what she used to be, I think it brought back all of those memories, all of that trauma of being overweight. I think that she saw me as disgusting and embarrassing because she used to be like that. And now she's not. And I think she was repulsed by it and disgusted by it. And I don't think she was disgusted and repulsed by me specifically. I think it was, she was reflecting her negative self-image and her lack of self-worth onto me. It was just mirrored onto me. She looked at me and saw her old self. And I think that in lied the problem. So then she was embarrassed, which would explain the whole entire trip. It would explain why we stayed at home and ate. It would explain why she didn't take me anywhere that she might run into family or friends. That would explain why she canceled the cookout. That would explain why I didn't meet her family. That would explain why we rushed through the things that we were supposed to do. That would explain why we didn't do half of what she talked about doing months ago, because she was embarrassed by me. Not because it was me specifically, but it was a reflection of her that she was seeing that she wasn't comfortable with. She is not comfortable with her old self and her old weight, and it's being projected onto me. So there is a lot of research out there that people that go through weight loss surgery and lose the weight unnaturally, because surgery is unnatural. You're supposed to lose it naturally. You're supposed to go through the process where you learn how to maintain and manage healthy habits and lifestyles. She didn't go through that journey, so she didn't go through the process of learning to love herself, love her body, love the process of losing it slowly and gradually. So she never healed that part of her because she did the quick, easy weight loss way. And I'm not faulting her for that. That was her journey. That's fine. She has a lot of stuff that she needs to work through. Clearly, this entire thing, she clearly has a lot of mental illnesses. Like, I was even telling my former exchange student about her, and she goes, "Oh, you mean the one that called Kurt's work and was like, yeah, I want to get him fired?" And I'm like, yes. And she didn't even know the whole story. Like, I remember, like, we were talking about this trip with Carmen, and my husband's like, "I don't want you to go. I don't like her. Like, something bad's gonna happen with her." And he's like, "She's a nut. She's unhinged. She's mentally unstable." And Carmen, of course, is a natural teenager. She's like, why? Why do you think that? And my husband is like, I'm not telling you the whole story. He's like, but let's just say those two got into a fight one time, and this Amanda got mad, called my job, and tried to get me fired, even though I'm not going to get fired over something my wife's doing, because that's not how it works in the world. And, so that was Carmen's first words. Oh, you mean the person that tried to get your husband fired? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, girl, she's like, she is so immature and so mentally unstable. Like, I can't believe that you even, stayed friends with her and forgave her through that. She's like, you deserve better than that kind of a person. And I'm like, you're right. You're right. But anyway, what I was getting back at before I went off sidetracked, is there is research out there that shows that people that go through that weight loss surgery, that don't go through the healing process that you go through when you naturally lose it on your own, like from the beginning to the end without an intervention, they have a negative self-view of their self, and so they start putting that on other people. Like, Google it. There's a whole bunch of research on it. And I actually talked to a woman today, that I actually was training at my job, and she's like, oh my gosh, she's like, I was friends with someone who went through weight loss surgery. She did the same thing to me. She said it wasn't about me, it was about them. And I'm like, exactly. And she's like, they ended up gaining all the way back. And I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of expecting that. Hope she doesn't. But anyway, that's kind of the whole thing. Like, I feel sorry for her. Like, I feel sorry that she is so insecure with who she is as a person, that she couldn't be authentic, that she couldn't communicate that. I'm sorry she's so mentally unstable and ill that she couldn't have an adult conversation, that she felt the need to just block, that she couldn't be real with her feelings, that she couldn't talk and like somebody that's overweight when she used to be overweight. And that's fine. I know she doesn't really have friends, and the one friend that she does have, she was supposed to visit in January, and she was telling me she don't want to go. She's like, I'd rather stay home. I'm like, well, now I know what kind of a friend you are. Not a very good friend. At that. Very selfish. But yeah, that's the story. That's what she did. And now I have a message to that one Amanda out of 2 million. And this is my message. You did that thinking I'd be really hurt, that you'd ruin my day, that I'd be bawling my eyes out begging for you back. That didn't happen. It would have been nice for you to actually practice what you preach, what you say you stand for, which you clearly can't because you're a coward. But you didn't have the guts. You don't have the guts to tell me to my face, because telling it to my face would mean then having to admit to yourself that you're unhappy with yourself. And that's okay. I got it. I'm educated. I passed all of my college classes the first time. I didn't, I got it. I'm smart. I'm not stupid. And I just want to say that I understand. I wish you nothing but the best in life. I hope that you get through whatever you're going through, and I hope that you don't lose everything in the process. I hope that you learn a lot of life lessons from this, and I hope that you get what you were wanting out of this. I wish you love, peace, happiness, harmony. I genuinely mean that. I don't hate you. I might not have liked what you did, but I don't hate you. I'm not that kind of a person anymore. I used to be. But I've changed. I've grown as a person. Who I was 2 years ago is not who I am today. And I'm going to continue to grow, and I'm going to continue to develop to be a better person and a better friend. And when one door closes, another opens. And right when you did what you did, somebody called me in crisis, and they really needed a friend. Someone that I never gave a second thought or chance of being a friend. People are replaceable. in the end, when you know you didn't do anything wrong. And I know I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't talk bad about you to anybody. That everything that happened is on you, and you have to live with that. I don't have to live with that. I feel at peace. I feel happiness. I'm sad that I lost a friend. Yeah, I'm sad that I don't get to talk to a friend anymore. Yeah, like, that's human nature. But I did not cry once. I want you to know that. I did not fucking cry once. I was like shocked. Wow, like, you actually did do that. Like I was shocked I was right. That's fine. You did what you did. I hope you're happy with it. I hope that you're happy living with it. I hope that you get what you needed from it. And I wish you nothing but the best in life. But just remember that I might have forgiven you for trying to get my husband fired. But this, I won't forgive. Because I did nothing wrong. Back then, we both did each other wrong equally. But this time, I did nothing wrong. I don't have guilt because I didn't do anything. And if it's not about the weight loss and you think I did something, then the joke's on you because I know I did nothing. And your lack of communication is on you. So, without further ado, that's all I have to say. You didn't get what you wanted from me. And you're not going to. I saw it coming, I grieved, I did what I had to prepare, and I was ready for this. And I know you're going to stalk my page. I already seen that you've been stalking things. I know you. And that's fine. This is the only video that you'll ever get my attention on. My posts that I made are the only attention you're going to get from me. After this video is posted, I've moved on. So don't think that you can come back in my life anymore. That ship has sailed. There's a lot of things I'll forgive, but ghosting me when I did nothing wrong is one that I will not forgive. You are just another chapter in my life. A lot of life lessons. At least I got to see the how an airplane, the whole process is, so that when I go see Carmen, I am not clueless. So thank you for giving me that. Best of luck in life, and that's all I have to say. The rest of my content moving forward will be budgeting related. And to that Amanda out of 2 million, you're more than welcome to continue watching my budgeting videos, because I really know that you need to learn how to budget so that you guys don't end up in a really bad situation, because I know what it's like whenever you accidentally submit your mortgage payment a little bit early and you're negative. Like, I can help get you a month ahead, girl. Like, but if you don't want to watch me, that's fine. There's a lot of great budgeters, and I hope that you can accept that help to get where you need to. That's all, friends. Bye.